I don't know if the stream is running. But I'm gonna figure it out. No, Doug is streaming. We're getting absolutely no viewers on Twitch today. Probably should have picked a different time. Sorry, I'm just setting some stuff up. I will be... What's up, Boya? How's it going? We're doing some D&D prep today, but I need to check and make sure everything's actually running. Ooh, why are people following me on Twitch when I'm not online? Don't do that. I mean, sample the product before you buy in. Anyway, I appreciate it. I've only got one of them up here because it's been 7 days. But, Dibble Gorf, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You know what I didn't think about? My Twitch notifications can go off while I'm recording for literally anything, even if I'm not streaming. So I could be recording something for like a video and have my Twitch notifications go off, which is hilarious. Okay, is everything here working? Or I gotta pull up the YouTube stream though. Here we go. So I can do some moderation. If I need to, hopefully everyone's behaving. Okay, we're gonna give it just a minute. We're gonna really quick make some tea and then we'll get started. Okay, a few things to do today. First, I'll explain what's going on, because this is a bit out of the blue. And then we will actually do some prep work, and then either I will do world building, or I will play some Portal at the end. Just depends on how I'm feeling. If I get bored of writing... So I was planning on playing just Portal today, but I realized that things are going to be busy and there's a good possibility I'll need to run 2 sessions of D&D this weekend, which means I need to be much more prepared than I thought I'd need to be. I was just going to wing it, now I can't. Also, for anyone who doesn't know, I play a fair bit of D&D. Well, I like to imagine I would if schedules worked out more. I prep a lot of D&D. So I've been running this kind of silly joke campaign for a few weeks now. It's more, I mean, it's not really a campaign, it's like an adventure, right? And we're three sessions in. Mind you, we were supposed to run this over December of last year, and we did not start until a month and a half ago. Hooray scheduling. And so I'm running this kind of jokey campaign for my brother and sister. we started playing with the standard starter adventure, but I thought this was a funny idea, so we stomped that down because they were getting a little bit bored of it, and we started up something new. And then we can go back to that, finish that up whenever they have time. And so far, I will show you this. It's a fun little thing. Here is a map of the kind of setting we have going on. So it's a winter themed setting. It's set in between 4 and 5 locations, depending on how things go. So the first location they visit is this farm called Pine Trail Farm. They're sent by a celestial who's asking them to bring items to one of the characters who lives here. Now these characters had their infant, their baby, stolen from them by some force in the night. Oh, also, hey, if you're a PC of mine, don't watch this. Do not do that. You've been warned. Don't do that. Well, unless the campaign's over. Then you can do that. You can see what I actually had prepared ahead of time and what I came up with on the fly. That might be funny. They then go to this place called Pine City, which they're currently at right now. Because it took them 2 sessions to go from talking to someone here to not even fighting someone in the woods. They got talked to by someone way higher level than them, because I rolled the character they would find in a spot on a random table, which is generally not a good idea, but it led to a really funny outcome. So like, it was cool. And then in here, we were supposed to spend half our last session doing a shopping trip so that they could like find cool magic items or whatever they wanted. Well, they had a selection of items that they could get from here. And it turned into they threatened every shopkeeper they found that didn't have the exact item they wanted with death. And so they just kept fighting the shopkeepers. Classic shenanigans, I suppose. Regardless, they're planning on finishing up here, and I kind of know what's gonna happen, but I need more items for that. Or I just need a better plan and encounter I have going. So, we need an encounter for and they've told me ahead of time what they want to do, just kind of broad strokes where they want to go, which lines up with what I was expecting, so it's nice. Encounter 1 is going to be in Pine City. We'll need to plan that. If they can clear this area quickly enough, we will set up some small encounter between Pine City and Damtown. Now the big bad uses he's got like elf minion characters, right? Not like minions like the movie Minions, but minions as in like, you know, pawns on a chessboard. And those are, let me grab a book. I've got them in here somewhere. Ooh, there's some cool dragons in here. Maybe I'll look in here for another monster. Oh, hell yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff in here. Oh, I'm reading from, this is Tome of Beasts, Volume 1. Written for 5e, so I found it to be very, very useful. It's got a bunch of cool monsters that don't show up in the monster manual. And some like new flavor on some old monsters as well. Like, look, I just found a character in here called Einhar, who is stylistically a mix of Thor and Loki, which is very cool. I would consider running that. Cool. So the big bad is utilizing this group of shadow elves. But the only ones I've actually taken out of here is the shadow elf forest hunter. And I flavored them in two different ways. So one of them was flavored to use a bow and the other one was with a dagger. I think that those guys you find in the initial encounter could be reused. But this time as minions. So along the way from Pine City to Damtown, we could have them fight. Maybe they get ambushed by two here. When spotting the party moving through here, because this is supposed to be a less traveled road, and only traveled by elves from this city. The dynamic here is that the Pine City is fully comprised of human people, and Damtown is fully comprised of elves, and they've got a kind of species-based feud going on. Although secretly the elves are in control of all of it. Again, PCs, stop listening right now. Don't listen. So we could have it so that they fight like two of the minions here that get done really easy, which signals to a pack of minions somewhere over here, which might be cool. But if I'm gonna have a pack of them, I'd like to have some sort of boss. Not anything too scary. Ooh, that's a little tough. Oh no, it's not. They could just kill it easy. It definitely seems like the challenge rating in Tome of Beasts Volume 1 is much, much better than it is in the Monster Manual. So this guy's called the Shadow Fae Guardian. Which I would just reflavor to be whatever winter elf thing I had going. And it's just a bigger, stronger elf. Less about like stealth and stuff, and more about just like Unga Boonga, hit you in the face with a javelin. So yeah, let's do that. Let's say I kind of want to put this into World Anvil now, just so I can plan it out a bit better. But it's not worth the setup. I will just put it in here. Okay, so the first encounter in Pine City I'm going to leave for a second. The second one I'm going to plan out to be am I spelling this wrong? Oh. My brain is not functioning. So between Pine City and Damtown. And I will split it up into A and B. So Pine City, Damtown, encounter A is going to be 2... Also, I can't show you the exact stat block because that would be against copyright, and I don't want to do that, so. Also, it seems like chat is very small. Should I make that bigger? I will figure that out. If I make it bigger, I will have to add a character count cutoff so that we don't get people putting copy pastas or whatever in super large text on screen. Okay, so it's elf, shadow fae, forest hunter on page 161. It should be, I'll give the section in first. Section E, page 161, tome of volume 1. Okay. And then I will give a little context here about what this is. Oh shit. There we go. Two elves, tank from the trees, and signal. So they're going to signal to a party down the road, and then attack the PCs because they aren't supposed to be there. I think that's probably fine. Oh yeah, I need to use minion rules, right? I'll just make them 2 hits. Because they have 104 hit points, typically. They're pretty tough. Yeah, let's just make it so 2 instances of damage piece to kill them. Okay. And then the second will be two, no, not 2. Probably 6. 6 is a lot. Go with 4. Because I want it to look like ramp up in difficulty. Now we'll make these minions. I'm really bad at spelling. I apologize for the way that I am. And then it can be 1 or 2 of these guys. It says they're CR4, and my party is, or my players are level 10. They can probably stand to fight 2 of these guys. But knowing what they're gonna fight next, do I want it to be that difficult? Plus, they just got a bunch of magic items, so I do want them to feel strong for at least a little bit before I decide to beat them back into their place, you know? Hmm. I think they could fight too. And we'll just have dual bosses. That might be fun. So it's a duo fight. It's a duo fight with minions. Again, not minions as in the animated movie. But minions is in, you know what I mean. Okay. Okay. Welcome to the ADHD mind, by the way. I had planned on writing out all of the headings before starting any of this, and I didn't do that. I just got entirely too distracted. Okay, next is Damtown. I have actually no clue what goes on in Damtown. I have not planned it at all. I have some ideas that are a bit of a cop-out, and I don't know that I like it. So anyway, Damtown. I'm not planning to run combat in Damtown unless they decide that they want to go and murder them. But I can't imagine they'd want to. Anyway, next is Dam Lake. You can tell that my naming convention is fantastic for this. I put so much effort into it. And these are mostly combat encounters. My party really does not like talking to anyone. And when they do, they are usually trying to also kill that thing or like convince it to do something it absolutely does not want to do. My players are real psychos. And I don't use that lightly. They will like beguile random passerbys just because they feel like it. We had one session where they rolled up on this old lady whose carriage was overturned by, well, something. Well, I don't know, and I didn't tell them and they didn't ask, but they rolled up on this old lady and immediately just tried to murk her. For no reason. Like, she was stuck inside this carriage. One player, who's the Aarakocra of the group, flies up on top of the carriage and just fires a fireball through the door. Now, luckily, this old lady was a lich, so she, or a proto-lich, so she did have resistance to it. It was able to resist the fireball, and they were correct to just attack her. I don't know how they picked up on that. You skin something made of fluff. Okay. So that seems reasonable. I've been to a Build-A-Bear. Is that what they're called? Are they called Build-A-Bear? I don't think they exist. Oh, they do still exist. They're a retail company. Cool. Oh, you can get a glow-in-the-dark axolotl from Build-A-Bear? That's rad. I'm getting too distracted. I feel like skinning something made of fluff is not unreasonable. I feel like that's how they're made. Okay, so Dam Lake is an encounter. I don't want to get too distracted. And then I thought I had names on all of these. Let me grab something really quick. I'll be right back. Listen to music. What's up, Xander? One, thank you for the map. I will say the map that I created here is not my best work by far. I put this together in less than like a half hour. Cuz this is a joke campaign that I'm running, but I do appreciate the compliment. So I've got the full version of the map here with all of the names and things. I just didn't save it. Okay, hang on. I will be right back. That is the last time I'm leaving the door to my apartment unlocked. Someone just straight up walked into my apartment. They didn't knock, they just opened the door and they looked around and they went, "Oh, this isn't my apartment," and they shut the door. I do live in a place that has a few people with declining faculties, so I'm not too surprised, but it was very concerning. I live in a very, very safe apartment. That has never happened. That was very concerning. I don't like that. What state do you live in? Actually, you don't have to tell me that. You totally don't have to tell me that. At least they didn't steal. Well, I was right here, and I think an old lady would not be able to steal from me. I'm not saying I'd fight an old lady. I'm not saying that. But if I needed to, I could. Okay, so I have a better updated map of this in person. It doesn't have the lake. You know, the big lake by Damtown is not named correctly. So, the next encounter after Damtown is at the bridge over that river there, which is called the End of the World. I don't know why I didn't write that down. So, I heard a while back about someone had run, or I don't know if they'd run it. I think they updated a monster from version 1 or version 2 of D&D into 5e, and it was like it was some sort of mimic bridge that I want to run. Because I don't have another setting to run it in, and I think that this one would be fun if they had defined the bridge to get over the frozen river, or the icy river. Um, and then up here at the top, I don't imagine there would be really anything in this area here because it is so desolate. Maybe they could fight some sort of ice monster. Or maybe, so the quest giver for this was a celestial that appeared in front of both PCs and is the reason that they're traveling together. Oh, there's me spelling again. I gotta stop spelling. Keep messing it up. Bridge to North Pole. So North Pole is the kind of final destination spot. It's conveniently in this empty region of the mountains up here. In between this, they're not going to really fight. I'm really bad at spelling. I'm not so bad at grammar. Although I definitely think I overuse rules of grammar that no one else does. Like, I love to put semicolons in my writing, even though it's probably not always appropriate. But my day job is as a programmer, so it's awesome when I go into a code review, and the notes I get are always on spelling. And it doesn't really matter that my variables aren't spelled correctly, because no one but me and whoever maintains it after me is going to look at it. And I can't tell it's misspelled, so. Still use two. Oh. So 2 spaces after a period is great, but also it's incorrect. I'm a firm 1 space man myself, but I can understand how it'd be useful when you have a really inconsistent typeface. Also, monospaced fonts with the way the kerning is on monospaced fonts, I totally get that. Right, because on a typewriter, you're forced into a monospaced font. Or Courier, there's a Courier monospaced font, right? Oh, I can do this. I was looking for other music that wasn't one of the 5 songs I've already played. I've always wanted to write on a typewriter, just for fun, but they're very loud. And also, I clearly make a lot of mistakes. Okay, so bridge to North Pole. So players encounter the celestial quest giver. So why would they be encountering this guy again? Why do you think this is a good idea? Oh, because he goes ahead of them. Thanks for stopping by, Xander. So maybe I have this celestial guy go out ahead of them. And he comes back injured? I don't like that. I think I'll just cut this. Let's find them a fun monster or something to fight. Could they fight a nice monster? What else could they fight? I have an encounters table here. Let me look. Oh, you know what? instead of running a combat-based encounter, like an entity-based encounter, what if they're fighting the nature? Because it is such a desolate region here. That might be cool. I'll have to figure out how to set that up. So it could just be like a series of survival and constitution checks to brave the weather. Do I want them fighting the final boss with exhaustion? Let me look up the rules for that. I'm now looking at the PHB from 2014. Obviously don't have access to the new one just yet. I also don't know if I'm gonna use it, you know? So the 2014 player handbook has a full list of deities, and the DMG does not, which is very annoying. The game seems to structure itself such that DMs don't need to have a copy of the player handbook. But for even just getting that information, kind of do. It's very weird. Exhaustion is on page 181. Okay, so it's not actually page 181. It is page. It could be 185, or it's somewhere else entirely. $291. Unless it's just not described correctly in here. Oh. Okay, I've never had to use the exhaustion rules because we typically don't play out travel that much. But this could be the first time. Exhaustion is measured in 6 levels. Okay. So, level 1 is disadvantage on ability checks. 2 is speed halved. 3 is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. 4 is a hit point maximum halved. 5 is that their speed is reduced to 0. And 6 is death, so we don't want them to go to 6. Okay. Okay, I can do that. Must succeed on, we don't want 5, but 3. Constitution saves. What do you want the difficulty here to be? So the entire, everything north of Pine City is covered in a blizzard at this time because of things going on in Damtown. So if they can stop the whatever's causing the blizzard in Damtown. Let's change this. So there should be a way to streamline travel a fair bit, so that we're not like running complex rules, but also you give them a little bit of a taste of this sort of thing. Okay. It should be DC if the storm's going. DC 14? Constitution saves? Actually, do they have any pluses to their constitution? Just a second, I'm gonna go grab some more paper. Here it is. Okay. So our Aarakocra has a Constitution save of +6. Yeah, okay, 14 is good for him. High Elf has a con save of +0, so that'll be rough, but they're also not, they're a College of Creation Bard, so they're not like a heavy attack based character anyway. And if they're building constructs, they won't fall victim to this con save. So I think DC 14's pretty decent. So we go like a DC 10 con save. If they have heavy snow gear prepared. Oh no, preparing heavy snow gear should give them a plus. Oh, you know what? Okay, here's me being stupid. I was like, I don't want them to worry about having to do a whole lot of travel stuff and like saves and things for this. So I gave them cloaks that made them immune to ambient cold temperatures. So this wouldn't matter anyway. They're just immune. And I don't want it to be like, this is magical cold, so it hurts you anyway. We'll have to do something else then. Maybe the bridge is fine, just the bridge encounter? I'll do an optional encounter. So if they're feeling like it, if things are going a bit too quick, we can pull this one off. And I will design that in a moment. Which can be another combat encounter. They like combat a lot, so they like combat a lot, but not enough to actually think about what they're doing when they're doing combat. So much so that our sorcerer, the Aarakocra, has decided that it's a fantastic idea to, instead of casting Fireball at a distance, fly up to people, stand in their face, and just shoot a Fireball into their face. Which also hurts him. And granted, I guess you can't miss when you're firing explosive at someone's eyes, but come on. Have like a little bit of self-preservation, and he always passes the save, too. I mean, if it works, but... They're very creative, and I have to give them points for being creative. Because when we first started playing, they didn't... I mean, they were new, right? So they didn't really know how the game worked at all. And so they would put themselves in situations that they weren't prepared for, and then, you know, actively damage their chances of surviving the encounter. Like, so far, only one PC has died in any of my DMing. And it's because one of the other PCs kept casting Thunderwave in an enclosed hallway. And when I said, "Are you sure Thunderwave has this radius?" and he said, "Will it hurt the other person in the party?" and I said, "Yes, it will," he went, "I guess I'll do it anyway." But it's okay. He hired an ogre. He hired 2 ogres to go back to that place and destroy it. So I guess that's fine. Big on vengeance, this guy. Encounter 6 is the North Pole encounter. Oh, spoiler. If you're one of my PCs, don't look at this, okay? This is big spoilers. The big bad for this campaign is Santa Claus. Cause I thought that'd be funny for December. It's August though. Okay. Let's do the Pine City encounter. So I've already got this a little bit figured out. I've now hinted at them once or twice that Pine City, the city that they're in, is, well, one, they know it's in the middle of some sort of winter time celebration. And they know that one of the kids just got chosen to be the Winter King. So that's kind of foreshadowing that, like, well, it's not foreshadowing anything. What is foreshadowing, though, is that the people who chose the Winter King and then ushered him off stage along with his parent were people wearing red robes with a pine tree on them. So I'm thinking that what's going on here is that they would be secretly elves who run the city from underground. But that means I need another. Oh, that was wrong. Okay. Players encounter no, they wouldn't know they're elves. Encounter the same group of red robed figures I saw on stage. A perception check of what would be a good perception check to see through a disguise? I think one of my players has extremely high perception. Let me check that. We've got one of them has a +5, and the other has a +2. So yeah, I guess +18 is not out of the pick. Or it wouldn't be unexpected if it happens. To be elves instead of the humans they expected. Okay. Oh, who's texting me? I got a message back. Let me actually read this because it could be important. Okay. Sorry, I needed to. Ooh, actually, this is another good email. I'm designing a board game. And my prototype cards for said game are just now shipped. That's awesome. When is the delivery date expected? 7 days from now. Wait, no, they shipped on the 16th. Why did they email me today? What's 7 days from the 16th? The 23rd? This says the okay, their system is it's fucking broken. You know something I've noticed as just a human being that lives in this universe and has to deal with things on a day-to-day basis. The general quality of all software has decreased significantly. And the amount of bugs that I'm now noticing, and that there's a bigger story, the amount of bugs that I'm now noticing have drastically increased. It would be fair to say that it has at least quadrupled the amount of bugs that I've seen. And I don't know what's happened or what's going on, but it just seems like stuff is breaking a lot. And I first noticed this, and this is going to sound like typical fat guy stuff, which it definitely is. I first noticed this on the Pizza Hut app. Okay? Now, I'm not defaming Pizza Hut here. Okay, I like Pizza Hut. I really, really like your pizza. But if I can't order your pizza, okay, I'm not buying your pizza if I can't order it. That's all I'm going to say. No, that's not what I'm going to say. Their app sucks so bad on Android. I don't know if they hired like an iOS developer and they skimped out on buying an Android developer, but what the hell are they doing? I can't even log into that app anymore. I mean, I'd get Pizza Hut. Well, they've gotten quite a bit more expensive. When I first went to college, we'd get Pizza Hut like probably every other day because it was just like $11 for 3 people to eat dinner. I mean, that's a steal. That's really good. $11 plus like $5 delivery. It was crazy to anywhere on campus. Those guys would go up to like the 12th floor of one of the buildings if they really needed to. And then they raised the price, so then it was like $30 or something for literally anything. It cost you like $30, and so I had to stop ever buying from Pizza Hut. But also they took out their salad bar. I'm just so disappointed with Pizza Hut, man. I don't know. But I'm noticing things like being able to log into websites less reliably. Sometimes when you update things in forums, it doesn't always go through. Wonder why. Well, I have a guess as to why that keeps happening, and my guess is it's to do with downsizing and understaffing, and people not really knowing exactly what's required of them to maintain their software. Because maintaining a piece of software is just as important, if not way more important, than developing it in the first place. Like, maintaining, and I'll keep writing as I do this, maintaining a piece of software involves not only making sure that it doesn't break, but also making sure that it continues to be the same quality it was when it was written, if not better. So, like, a common metric that companies will use incorrectly to measure progress of their developers is lines of code written in a day or in a week or in a sprint. The reason that's incorrect is because the more lines of code in a program, generally, the less quality. You want your code to run and do what it's supposed to do and meet the requirements in as few lines of code as possible. To an extent, you still have to be able to read it. And so, when you get a maintainer that is actively reducing the amount of lines of code in a code base, either by making code more generic or by writing reusable blocks, right? So think functions, things of that sort, objects that weren't there before, and updating old systems to use new paradigms. Hell, even rewriting things is also the job of maintainer. It's very hard to justify to people who don't know what programming is and why this is important, why your maintainer just rewrote a section of code. Because on paper, to someone who doesn't know what's going on, it's not adding anything, even though, of course, it is adding something. I think that failing is really what's causing a lot of our tech issues these days. That and not fully understanding, and I'm not writing anything, not fully understanding what makes your software products yours. Right, I think we see that now with everything pushing towards having like some sort of AI chatbot on it, because they saw that OpenAI drew a lot of attention with theirs. The reality is that not everything needs an AI chatbot on it. Some things are simple. Like, explain to me why my unzipping software needs a chat or an OpenAI integration. It does not. It's meant to unzip things. OpenAI does not help me do that. Anyway, we should get back to this. Okay, so I want there to be a mechanic here where if the elves are perceived to be one of the robed figures will tail the party. Oh. Lone Pine City. Okay. Next. There's a lot of ifs here. So if the party walks near the prison, and well, it's not really a prison. It's a it's the dungeon. The dungeon below the mayor's house. It's not really a mayor. It's like at the keep. Is it a keep in this place? Let's call it like a town hall or something. After dark, they will I hear a woman, the mother of the Winter King, who is like the little kid that got picked at the stage. Cry out for... We're just crying. Dungeon cell. Okay, so if players choose to investigate, so here's my problem as a DM. My players take actually every plot hook that I give them, even the tiniest little one. I don't think there's ever been a time when they're like, no, we don't, we're just not gonna do that. We're just gonna ignore it. So if I give them literally any plot hook, they will take it. So I have to cut back on the amount of plot that happens, or they will be stuck in side quest hell for years. Which isn't a bad place to be stuck, but in a joke campaign it definitely is. You know, when I first came up with this, I was like, oh, this could be a one-shot, and then it turned out to not be that at all. I did not know how difficult writing a one-shot would be when I tried it, and so it just didn't function. Probably because I've never played a one-shot. I've actually only ever played D&D once, because I've been DMing the whole time. Okay, so if they investigate further, they will... What will they do? The woman will tell them that... And I'll improv this, because that's what I'm good at, is improving dialogue. Son was taken someplace below the keep, or someplace in the dungeon. I could make it like moments ago. Okay. And I'm assuming if none of this happens, the players will probably just like sleep at an inn, call it a day. Oh, there's also something else that needs to happen here. There we go. Also, I won't describe what's going on in the halls because I've already got it built in as a map, a mini scale map, so I don't really need to worry about it. What other music do I have? Here, we'll do the funny spy music. Carrying. Through the halls below. Town hall. And then, how many of them will there be? It will be 2. We'll need to find an enemy for these guys to be. These elves to be. They need to be mages, but I could use the same Fey guys. I can make them Shadow Fey Enchantress. What do they do? So they're spellcasters, which is good. Okay, so they have a rapier, which is cool. Ooh, CR7. So they probably only need to be fighting 2 of these, because they won't be the final boss. Their hit points, 123 is a lot. Okay, I need to write some more before this as well. So there's 2 more encounters left for Pine City then. No, there's probably more. Oh, they really made no progress last time. Okay, let's take a quick break. Just so that I can jot down some thoughts. And then we will come back in like 15 minutes. Why did no one tell me that you couldn't hear the music for the last hour? Next time, tell me that you can't hear the music. Okay, I am back. I took a little break. I wrote a little bit more. I did some thinking, and where I had all of this kind of crammed up into this section, I was like, man, this is going to be a lot of encounters to run in one area. I was thinking about back to some feedback that I got from players a while ago. What happened? Why did chat just clear? Oh, because I changed scene. I gotta figure out how to not have that happen. Unless the stream is dead. Something is up. Am I having a network issue? No, the network's back. Okay, it just cleared it for some reason. That's fun. Okay. I was thinking back to feedback that I got from players. And they're very adamant on leaving Pine City and going to Damtown. So it makes more sense to have this whole through line of the kind of government behind the government happen a little further down the line, so that we can kind of move things along. And it still works out narratively. There was going to be a through line here where they had, they were going to disrupt a ritual in this city that would take down the magical barriers that were keeping out like a blizzard, and a lot of people would die because of it. But it is fine that they don't get the immediate feedback of the dark evil ritual that's going on in this city. You know, stopping the evil ritual. It's fine. It's fine. It is interesting though how things change. But regardless, okay, so I've also added this point about something they're going to do anyway. They were supposed to do it last session, but they kept trying to attack shopkeeps, where they had to go to a bar to meet a character from previously, who has found more adventurers to join the party, because running a party with 2 people is difficult. And if I just give every player, both players, an extra character, it kind of works itself out, combat-wise. And if I make them 4 higher, they don't really have to have strong character backstories or motivations for the other 2, other than they're there because they're getting paid. So it's convenient. It also gives me a good spot to drop off the chaperone for the little adventure through Pine City, whose name is Grimbo the Goblin, because I was very creative when I created that character. Okay, so now there's this, and then there's this. So very low combat. Even though it says a fight breaks out, I don't plan on this being combat. I think it'd be funny to like have them roll for initiative. Like, yeah, combat. And then, you know, Grimbo the Goblin just takes care of it as they found out very early on, because they pushed him to his absolute limit as soon as they met the man, that he's got some sort of like abyssal power. He's like a warlock, right? And he has some sort of abyssal power. They weren't supposed to figure that out until they got to this bar. But you know, Grimbo had to step in and fix things. And they kept asking Grimbo for his backstory. The random chaperone side character, like, Grimbo, what's your backstory? He's like, well, it's very dark. And they just kept asking him. But that's fine, I know to expect this stuff now. They'd never done that to an NPC before, where they're like, we're just gonna beg this NPC for their backstory, relentlessly. Okay, let's finish up writing the stuff for Damtown, and then I will... write the rest of this later, because I'm getting a little tired. And focusing on writing is not what I want to do when I'm sleepy. Oh, do you want to talk on mic? Okay. Okay, talk on mic. You were very talkative just a second ago, buddy. Would you like to speak? Say hello to all your adoring fans. Huh? Can you speak perfect English for me? Can you say hello? No? You're just gonna sit here and behave. My cat loves yelling at me. Just so I'll pick him up and pet him a little bit. And then, like, in a few seconds, he'll get bored and he'll want to leave. Are you good? He's somehow super chill. He usually doesn't like being picked up. Are you good? Okay, do you want to go down? You want to go down now? I see your tail flicking at me. Oh, okay. Ugh, I got cat hair in my mouth. We gotta brush this cat. Well, I do. I gotta brush this cat. Okay. A lot of this is going to be shorthand for stuff that I know and I have in my head. One of the doors is locked in down here. The other, I don't know what the other one is. And the other is, oh, they're both locked. There are two locked doors. One is for the cell with the woman. The other to a room housing a beast. Ritual stopped. Okay. So there's going to be a ritual room. Where the child is being prepared for I don't think I'm allowed to describe this in detail on YouTube. Here, I will use the correct nomenclature here. The Winter King. Or becoming a ritual component. Is this censored enough for YouTube? I hope so. Can remove the Winter King. And all the ritualists, or destroy the 3 ritual statues to beat the encounter. No, removing the Winter King kind of ruins it. Handle the ritualist or destroy the 3 ritual statues to beat the encounter. Oh, I killed a gnat, hell yeah. After which, the beast in that one room is, in that one room breaks free. Attacks the party. Cool, hidden final boss for Damtown. Oh, I didn't describe what goes on in Damtown, did I? There we go. So they'll be locked in stasis. Let's hope the party doesn't decide to rob everyone. Oh, Charmdale locked in stasis. They're all staring north. That's foreshadowing right there. That should be fine. Let me do some maths here. We're gonna want 2 there should be 3 elf Shadow Fae enchantresses. And this is from this. That's actually page 162. What's wrong? So these are the ritualists. There will be 1 of these who is a boss, right? And then I will use I want this to feel difficult, so let's do 2 hits on these guys. Anything labeled a boss has full HP per the stat block of the boss, or per the stat block of the enemy. Shadow Fae, just a base Shadow Fae. Actually, these guys are really weak. Let's put like 3 of them in here. Let's do 4 of these guys. We'll do 3. This is also a really tiny room, so it's gonna be absolute bedlam. And these will be minions with 1 hit. Shadow Fae Duelists, and they're on page 1. Okay, let me read a bit more as what these guys do. These should be fine. Yeah, these are cool. Oh, they can do Misty Step in the dark. That's cool. They just get to do that 3 times a day as a bonus action. That'll be really fun. Because they can just Misty Step behind people. Ooh, that's great for hallway duels. Can you prepare bonus actions in 5e? Because if you could prepare your bonus action to Misty Step behind someone as a reaction, that might be very interesting as a mechanic. I don't know if that's possible though. Yeah, I feel like this is good. What is the final boss gonna be? I want to pull it from this book because it's such a good text. If you don't have this book, by the way, I'd strongly suggest you pick it. It's Tome of Beasts, Volume 1, from Kobold Press. It is very, very nice to have on hand. Especially if your players already know 5e very well. Which, granted, mine don't, but... Let's get some... So I'm thinking some sort of hulking... Some sort of hulking elf creature? Ooh, the Goat Man. Fuck you, Goat Man. They couldn't fight a giant, the hallways are not big for it. It has to be a medium. Who says it has to be medium? I can just make it squeeze down the hallway as difficult terrain. Which would be very fun. Sorry if you can't hear me, I'm reading a book and I had to move my mic. Let me see if I can fix that without unplugging everything. Is this better? Can you hear me? Good. You're not quite at mouth level, but I guess that's to be expected. That's got a CR of 21. I feel like that's probably a bad idea for them to try and fight right now. The hell is a Fearsmith? That's terrifying. Oh, it's got a giant mouth in the middle of its face with an eye in it, which is red. So maybe it's not once it's finished, like after the ritual stopped. Oh no, but the ritual can stop without everyone in the room being dead. So if they stop the ritual too early, they have to fight this thing as well. This could just be a really deadly encounter. But this could be like a genetically modified one of those elves, or like a magically modified one of those elves that's distorted and warped. Which actually fits into later. Oh, this is great. This is excellent. Fucking cooking. Oh, this is section F. Oh, the section is just what letter their name starts with? Okay. Page 169. Nice. And this is a boss, so this is like second phase. They're gonna have 4 PCs, and one of them, they're all strong. One of them can summon a bunch of stuff. They'll be fine. Oh yeah. Hey PCs, if you're watching, again, don't watch this, but after they leave Pine City, Pine City, they've been asking for like animal companions now for 2 sessions. So I'm going to capitulate, but with a twist. A wolf. And penguin. They really wanted to have a wolf and a penguin companion in the party, so they can now do so. Okay. This will be hidden from the players. But the wolf... The wolf is secretly a mimic. That was the BBG's hat. And the penguin is just the animal companion of the big bad evil guy. Oh, what if I have the... If they is the companion of the BBG, maybe the penguin leads them to the bridge? Okay, this will be fun. That's hilarious. Oh yeah, and then one of... We'll have the updated map on it. If you're wondering why I can plan so far ahead in this campaign, by the way, and why maybe in your campaign it's more difficult, that is not because I've railroaded the players, but because they always tell me what they want to do next at the end of a game. So like last time when we stopped, they were very adamant, like, let's leave this city and go to the next one. So I cut stuff from this city and I put it in the next city, so it's just less writing. It's great. And also, this is very linear. I'm going to, since I'm not going to be doing any world building today, hang on just a second. I will show off a different map. Sorry, just a second, I gotta pull it up. It's taking forever to load. go back here and I will write some more about this. This guy is flavored to a magically modified animalistic elf. Sure. Okay. There we go. So this is a campaign that I want to run in the future, and this is fully sandboxed. So like, I can run another game. It's just this campaign the campaign I'm running right now happened to be very linear. I mean, actually, it will probably take us more than a year to get out of this area here, because the starting area is here. Ooh, I can show something off though. Am I done? Am I done cooking this? Is this done? For now. I think for now this is done. I'll just show off some more stuff. Yeah, I got the page of this, so that's good. I'm actually not quite done, but that's fine. Some stuff I can do on my own. So like, let's look at the starting city. This is the starting city for this campaign. Very cool stuff. This took a while. This took a long while. And I actually have an annotated version in World Anvil that I will get to at some point. And this is actually only one half. There's another half of the city this way, which I can pull up here. I'm very excited to run this when I get the chance. So this is the other part of the city. It's considerably smaller. And it's also where like the slums area is. Be pretty cool. Oh, rad. First time chat. More like first time band. Band. A reminder, do not put any phishing messages in chat. Do not fish my community. That's not appropriate. I will not be kind to you if you are fishing. Okay, no fishing. I'm also just now noticing that because of the shadows, it looks like the cliff here is holding back the water. Did I change that? How do I leave this? Okay. Oh, I can move this back down. Sorry. I needed to move my mic. Cliffs. Can I move the shadow on this thing to be not where it is? Shadow. Custom object shadow. Does that look more appropriate? Looks better like that. It's just too much shadow, I think. Oh no, the shadow's there regardless. None by default, but there is a shadow by default on the... Yeah, it's built in. Damn. It's fine. I don't think they're gonna notice or care. They'll probably just be happy they have a map. Still worth a try to fix, but ultimately not a big deal. Why is there a blue box around everything? Stop doing that. Okay, anyway. It was a fun tangent. I didn't know I had this building back here. I wonder what this is gonna be. I haven't planned any of this area yet. Except for the fact that there's a thieves guild. Right here. And that this is destroyed and used to be like some sort of orc settlement. Oh, and there's a military camp here. Okay, well it's past 9. I gotta go sleep. I'm very tired. So thanks for sticking around if you have, and